Was Matthew coming?
Oh, no, I'll just do it.
All righty, folks, sorry. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. All members present except for Ray Uson. Stand with the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you for allowing us to join here tonight to discuss city business. Father, we just ask that you be with each and every one of us. Father, we ask that you be with Ray as he rides away into retirement. We appreciate his many years on city council, school board, and as a civil servant. Father, we just ask that you protect him and his family. Father, just lead us, guide us, and direct us. In your name we pray. Amen.
I can provide a quick update on citizen comments, by the way.
Citizens' comments? Go ahead, Joe.
Just a quick update on this is not on the agenda, so it's, again, just an update. The electric department has called in locates on the fiber project. So the last week's rains caused some delays, but they've sent me, I've seen the ticket notifications. So once they get those on the ground, their next step is to start laying out poles and hopefully putting them in the ground in a short order. So, quick update.
We'll make our deadline thing.
We shall see. To be determined.
Okay.
All right. No other citizens' comments. Boards, commissions, committees, nothing. Consent agenda. Nothing. No public hearings. All right, moving on. Regular agenda, review, discuss, and consider action. Item number 1, administer oath of office, statement of officer, and certificate of election to newly elected members of city council.
Yes, sir. Mayor, City Council, if you recall, there was an order of cancellation for the May 6th, 2023 general election. There were 2 at-large city council seats up for election and only 2 candidates applied. Therefore, we canceled the election, and Mr. Gail Jones and Shelton Gilmore were both duly elected members of city council. So we could not swear them in until we would normally do at the time we canvass votes. So at this time, we'll swear in our 2 new council members here. What you guys have here in front of you, we'll do the oath of office first. You want to stand? Just repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I, state Shelton Gilmore, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of City Council of the City of Bartlett, of the State of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. If you just want to sign where it says signature of office, Rose will notarize both of those items of office. A round of applause for our new council members here. Welcome to the big time.
All right, Mr. Shelton, I don't know about this. Was it right?
The one at the landslide.
And then the other page there, I do need back, but if you want to read through that, it's the statement of officer. And you can sign. That's what I got.
Trying to go green. Save the packet.
Do you need to do that second page?
They're gonna sign up there, but it doesn't need to be notarized. It's just their own statement.
And then maybe vocal.
Do it.
Does that need to be vocal?
We can do it if you want.
Okay. Have we always done them vocal in the past?
We'll do a quick second one
Don't we do that second one vocal also?
for the ceremony. For the
The
ceremony.
statement of officer, don't we do that vocal also? Don't they have to repeat that? Don't we have to be slide? Maybe it's slide.
Just repeat after me then. I state your name.
I, Sheldon Gilmore,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I have not directly
that I have not directly
or indirectly paid,
or indirectly paid,
offered, promised to pay, contributed,
offered, promised to pay, contributed,
or promised to contribute any money
or promised to contribute any money
or thing of value,
or thing of value,
or promised any public office or employment
or promised any public office or employment
for the giving or withholding
for the giving or withholding
of a vote at the election
of a vote at the election
at which I was elected,
which I was elected,
or as a reward to secure my appointment
or as a reward to secure my appointment
or confirmation,
or confirmation,
whichever the case may be, so help me God.
whichever the case may be, so help me God.
Thank you, Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, Mr. Shelton. Welcome to the team. Congratulations, Mr. Jones. Welcome back to the team.
Almost like you never left.
Can we move on? Item two?
Yes, sir.
Item number two, elect mayor pro tem. So anytime you add more, replace or add, you elect a new mayor pro tem. So
I'd like to make a motion to have Philip Weaver as mayor pro tem.
So Mr. Cooper's got a motion to elect Mr. Weaver. Gail Jones, second. All in favor for Mr. Weaver, Ms. Vicky's motion to have Mr. Weaver elected as mayor pro tem? That carries 4-0. And one abstain. Philip abstained. You want to vote for yourself? All right. Congratulations, Mr. Weaver. All right. Item number three, discuss, review, and take any necessary action related to the resolution 2023-0522-03 establishing signatories on all City of Bartlett accounts at Cadence Bank, formerly Bancorp South, and providing an effective date. So once again, just like any other first order of business, replacement, we got a new council member. So it means we have to go through all the fun times at the bank, changing all the signatories on the bank. Because all council members are signatories,
For payroll and accounts payable.
payroll, accounts payable, Joseph, myself.
So with this resolution that you have in your packet here, it is adding Mr. Shelton Gilmore as a signatory and removing any unseated council members, which would be Mr. Uso. So it's doing both simultaneously. We'll pass this resolution first, and that's what Amy needs at the bank in order to draft all the
Should
documents.
draft all the documents, send them back to us, and then next time we'll buy the house. So we just need a motion to approve this ordinance, or the resolution, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2023-0522-03 with Cadence Bank.
Mr. Cooper has made a motion with a Sheldon Gilmore second. Look at that, jumping in already. All in favor? And the motion carries 5-0. Item number 4, discuss and receive update related to TxDOT TA-Bell Street Sidewalk Project.
Thank you, Mayor. This action does not require, or this item does not require any action. This is just another opportunity to provide community input and feedback related to our TxDOT Bell Street project there. Excuse me. And any other questions from council related to this project? Any other community input? If not, we'll move right along.
So no action.
No action.
Shelton, just to catch you up real fast on that one, that's a sidewalk that goes basically from City Hall here to the fire department, takes us that way, gets to the Bell Street in front of the church, goes all the way down Bell Street to about, what street is that? Right behind Head Start, and cuts back to Head
Cottrell.
Start. Cottrell Street, so all the way down to Cottrell, back. So we're trying to stay on the Bell County side, we cross over the Williamson County side, there's a, I believe, 20% match. So it's 80-20 on the Williamson County side, it's 100% grant funded on Bell County side. One street makes a pretty large difference. It's a phase 2 extension of the Safe Route to School. So from the school, there's gonna be a sidewalk built from the front door of the school, down where that Bulldog mural is, all the way down, with that Professor Powell, all the way down towards where the, funeral home is, and then hit Evie Street, connects it all the way to the downtown. So trying to direct the kids across the highway, downtown, this way, and then back to, so that's just an update real fast. So I can't see.
Just talk about that. I'll get you that one.
All right, so number 5, discuss and receive update related to project proposal for Williamson County 2023 road bond call for projects.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. City Council. This previous Wednesday, Williamson County, they had their bond committee hearing where they had members from each precinct of the county hear proposals from different entities in our precinct related to a project for potential road bond. If you recall, we did the most recent similar project would be Cottrell Street. So what we've been talking about at the council level is Brook Street all the way to Front Street here at the intersection, plus Salt Lake, plus the southern portion of Bowie and the northern portion of Bowie up to Elm Street, which was part of our street system analysis in phase 3 and 4 of our project. So I'll just quickly run through this. This is the presentation that we gave to the county and all members present. And we were actually, I believe, third. It was City of Taylor went first, and they requested approximately, what did we calculate, 250 million in total projects. Copeland went next, and they requested about 5.2 million in total project. Then we went, and then after us, it was, you would call it Hutto, and they had similar to Taylor, about 200 to 300 million in projects. And then the county came in, and they asked for like about $6 billion worth of growth.
Billion.
But fortunately, one of those was the Ronald Reagan extension.
Which is 200 some odd million by itself.
And as I go through this, the two cities before us and even after us, which is kind of what we were hoping for, they were done by their engineers. So it was very cut and dry, black and white, just a matter of fact. Here's the project, here's the maps, here's the cost. We gave a slightly different presentation. We want to be a little more convincing. We opened it up with this slide here. We quickly reviewed on what we'll discuss. That's our community profile, a project summary, the city master plans, the county and state master plans. We'll do a final review, and then we close with questions and final wrap. On our profile for the committee members that were maybe not familiar, the community members, we highlighted where we are in relation to the county. This is precinct 4. I mean, it's combined the other 3, in terms of land mass. So very interesting. We communicated ourselves as a Williamson County gateway community. We have relevance to the county as a whole. You know, we're not to be forgotten here on the fringe. Forgotten here on the fringe. Our community profile, we have approximately 1,750 population. We're a low to moderate income community. We're a qualified census tract with the Department of Housing and Urban Development. We're approximately 48% Hispanic, 41% white, 9% African American, and 2% other, with a 3.7 million fiscal year 23 total budget. Showed them a picture of our downtown that shows, you know, we have a unique asset in terms of our red brick and the unique architectural design of our buildings, which we've managed to maintain over quite a long history. Talked about how we were one of the first communities in the country to get rural electricity, which is one of the 2 generators you're seeing here. Did a quick, brief summary of our deep film history. Talked about Matthew McConaughey in the prominent film of True Grit, filmed the scene in here. Moved on to our project summary. Started with a little bit of context. You see we have County Road 301, County Road 342, County Road 351, and then State Highway 95 and Farm to Market 487 for Western Town. Did an overlay of the Cottrell Street project so they get a context of where that lies in relation to the big picture. And then this is just to highlight the project region. Project limits were Brookfront, Salt Lake, and Bowie Street roadway improvements to include reconstructing roadways consisting of flex base and asphalt 24 feet wide and cleaning of ditches. Scope includes environmental, planning, design, utilities, and construction, with a total estimated project amount of $3,283,000 and a city contribution of 1% match. And that's for grant administration time, which is basically just staff time with efforts for this specific project. Project map. So this is where we showed them the full scope of what we were asking for: Salt Lake, Brook, Southwest Front, Bowie, and Bowie. Overlaid the previous project to show how it all ties together. This is in addition to a previous project building upon it. The next, we actually took them on a little tour. Each photo corresponds with the point that you'll see it move along the route. So we definitely highlighted, and this is right there at the intersection. The rains actually did us a favor. It highlighted some of the depth of these potholes here. We talked about the deterioration of the streets here and how deep that is. A little bit hard to notice here, but you can see the waves and the return there. And this is where it really gets bumpy. We talked about artillery shells coming down on this part of the street. A lot of big divots there. And then small slivers of asphalt still slightly visible, but it's mainly road base at this
And
time.
that's that really bad road.
That's Brook, right?
Yep, this is Brook. This is as we get closer to Salt Lake. This is actually Cottrell Street here. You can see it's also just as bad as basically a dirt road. This is Arnold back here. Here is the southern portion of Bowie. You can see the big potholes here, and the northern section of Bowie, the church is right here, the park right here. Again, pretty sizable potholes. So we related this and tied it to the city's master plans. We viewed this on the council level numerous times. We just showed them that basically everything in red is no good, and that's basically everything the project we proposed, all those different streets there. We told them, how did we come about selecting this specific project? Well, it was all part of our master plan. It was phase 3 and 4, half of 4, that ties into a bigger strategy. Then we show them the city's existing land use to show them how much vacant property we have in this section of town, plus a relatively high density of single family use there. On the future land use map, we showed them that with this project, it's going to assist in the single family residential development in our southern portion of our ETJ here, which is basically country there. And how that could be beneficial to the commercial sector as well. Here's a real interesting piece that we put together. Rose put all the permit data in a spreadsheet, and I was able to populate it into a heat map. So basically what you're seeing here is for every cluster that you see, the bigger the dot means more permit activity. So what we focus on for this presentation is you can see quite a bit of clustering in the Salt Lake area of town, which means there's quite a bit of permit activity here. this vacant, not a lot of activity, it's because it's all vacant land. You know, it's, if we improve the infrastructure to this area, now we're talking about infill development, replatting, new homes, new utility dollars, new property tax revenue, new Williamson County residents. Then, of course, really the most encouraging sign here is there's a huge cluster in our downtown. That means there are resources being reinvested back into downtown. It's a very, very big deal for us. Part of the pitch here, part of the selling point was that these roads connect not only these residential sectors, but to our main economic driver, which is our downtown. Tied it into, this was one of the key components of the presentation, had it tied to the county plan. So here's their long-range transportation plan. And again, these are just proposed, but there is these orange lines here are arterials, and then a controlled access that's proposed there. In the middle. We basically said there's two intents of the long-range transportation plan, and that's to keep pace with the increase in residents and vehicles. We're about 20 minutes from General and Taylor, about 30 from Georgetown, and we anticipate our next evolution as a city to be a bedroom community for Temple, Taylor, and Georgetown. The second intent of the long-range transportation plan is to coordinate connectivity and mobility. And through our project proposal, it will improve existing connections to County Road 342, 301, and Farm Market 487, while also building upon previous progress in Control Street. Here is the TxDOT statewide planning map. Everything in red here is what TxDOT plans to begin preventative maintenance on within a year. Anything in yellow is what they plan to do preventative maintenance on within the next 4 years. With an overlay of our project region. We wrapped up, we'll review the project summary, we review the project map, and then we really close it off with this section here, and it's about impact. You know, we said this is not just a traffic or road project, this is a quality of life project. I mean, you try living on those roads at bare minimum, leaving your home every day and coming home every day. We annotated how we're a gateway again to Williamson County. We're either the first thing you experience coming into Williamson County or the last thing. We want that to be a lasting and positive impression. We talked about the economic development components, providing pathways to downtown and facilitating redevelopment, promoting infill development in those vacant land uses, and improving infrastructure for new development, again, meaning new Williamson County residents. And the last component there is minority disadvantaged community. Improving streets equals reducing vehicle maintenance, which equals citizen costs. I don't recall them really having any questions, if any. But I will say we were the only presentation that talked about impact, not just project scope. Right? I think that was a really good lasting reflection. I don't know if you want to tell them about our conversations with Commissioner Covey or any of the committee members.
Now, Joseph, like, he did the whole presentation, and it was amazing. I mean, it really was. I mean,
We put our best foot forward.
yet on the panel, you had people up there. You had, I think, 3 people from each precinct, like citizens, and so they were listening to every bit of it. You had Commissioner Bowles there, who's Precinct 4 commissioner, and then you also had Commissioner Cook there, who's Precinct 1 commissioner, and she got up and spoke. And after, I think it may have been after the county did their presentation.
Yes.
And the county got up there, you know, and they've got this huge
Wish list.
wish list. I mean, that's basically what this was like bringing everything and just dumping on us, which we'd have known, we'd have brought them more. But the county just took everything there and just dumped it on them. And obviously, I don't think they're going to, this whole county doesn't necessarily take $6 billion worth of stuff to the voters, you know, and ask for a $6 billion bond. I'd vote no against that. But we need the citizens to vote yes for this bond because we felt like we were the least dollar amount there, but probably some of the greatest impact there for our little city. And then Commissioner Cook got up there, and she just like, we've been to commissioner's course meeting before, and we didn't, you know, I saw her stand up and walk up there. We didn't know how this was going to go, but it was awesome. She praised Bartlett. She got there and spoke, and she's like, don't just give them roads, give them water towers too. So, I mean, it was like,
Water, wastewater.
well, I mean, she was like, we're creating basically the county's the one creating the best for the little cities. and expecting the little cities to figure it out. And so she realizes that. We just need the rest of the commissioners to realize that. The county engineering to figure that out. County judge, they all know it. And that's just like I told Joseph, I said, they're the ones breaking all these deals, bringing all this growth into our region with all these industries. Okay, 90% of those people, where are they gonna live? In a city. Very few of them are actually gonna live rural, you know? And so I think they do actually realize that they're gonna have to help the cities out with all this impact that they're about to get hit with. And so that's why, I mean, it was really awesome to see her get up there and preach on that. And I mean, she just seems to love Bartlett. She's got a friend here, Joyce White. She's great, Joyce White. You know, everybody knows Joyce White. She's the lady who does the clothes closet and all the school supplies for the kiddos at the school. I mean, we should probably name a street after her. She's a really sweet little lady. And but yeah, let's make it a good street. But you know, I mean, it's just good to see other commissioners there who cared about small cities. So we feel like if this makes it through the voters, if they make it a bond and make it to vote, that's up to that bond committee to figure out if they want to put this in front of citizens. Then if the citizens pass it, we feel like our project's a slam dunk. We really do. I mean, and it starts right there. And it goes all the way almost to the prison. You know, I mean, so it's a whole other good road to release some pressure, to bring new residents to downtown, to our economic, you know, center, our hub. You know, I mean, it makes total sense. So we're really going to push that this makes it the bond. We got to make it to an election first, but then we need anybody and everybody that you can talk to, we need to get yes votes. I mean, it's going to have to pass. I mean, this is what's going to help little cities. Copeland's got an annual budget of $152,000. They spent $80,000 this year already on potholes. That's what they do. But I mean, it's the road. I mean, their city limits. I guess they expanded their city limits way out, so it goes all the way like out towards, you know, that road that goes towards Samsung. You know, and so that's the road with all the impact, and the city are having to pay for upkeep on this road that's not really benefiting their city. You know, I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking, but that's a $6 million project. Almost $6 million project.
Yeah, we get this project and you build that road, we're gonna low limit it, keep 18 wheels something.
Probably gonna have to. I mean, we got to do something with our roads here. I mean, guys, I've been getting nailed by road calls, potholes. I mean, just nailed by them. And I mean,
I will say I spoke with a resident, so it's just an example of darned if you do, darned if you don't. It was that Head Start, and we were talking about the TxDOT Bell Street Sidewalk project. And this lady lives in town, and she said, you know, I'm glad I got you here because I've got some complaints. I said, okay. And she said, I guess she lives on Alamo. She said, Alamo, it is so terrible driving into work and leaving work and leaving my home and everything. So I understand. And I gave her the rundown of everything that we're working on, the road bond project, the Cottrell Street, everything, and the potholes, all that stuff. Then when we talked about Cottrell Street, she says, you know, I'm glad you mentioned Cottrell Street too, because my parents live on Cottrell Street. And it's nice that there's a brand new road, but we have a speeding problem. Where is PD? I was like, I said, well, we want to avoid putting speed bumps on a brand new road, but we could put stop signs and we can maybe do some additional coverage out there for things of that nature. So we had a similar story from, who was it? The gentleman who lives out in Mart, where they redid all the streets in town, and people's complaints went from potholes to speeding. So it just goes to show there's always going to be something, no matter what you do.
never sense. So, no, but that's the presentation Joseph presented to the county. Obviously, he spent more time on it there, and I mean, it was just more from the heart, and it was very well taken. So, we'll keep.
I did hear two people on your presentation.
Channeled my inner Bartlett, my inner city council, and put it out there.
Yeah, so he did fantastic. Obviously, as we hear more, we'll inform you guys as well. So
One last quick thought on that, Mayor, is in order for the county to put it on a November ballot, they have to make a decision and pass it by August. So we should know, I believe, sometime in July if we're selected for a project, and by August if they place it on a bond. And then, of course, November is when we know if the bond passes or not. So that's a rough timeline of what we're looking at.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
And we turned in like a completion date of like 2025, so that's our hopes and plans and dreams. So.
And they do it all. I mean, it was like the HNTB does everything, right? I think, so.
We'll see what happens with it. All right. Item number 6, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to joint MDD, DEC, City of Bartlett fiber project.
I guess there was an agenda item on it. Just again, I reviewed the text messages from Curtis late last week. He said they called in locates. You drive out there, as Mayor and I have a few times. Locates are being completed out there. He said once that's just about done, they'll start taking poles out there, putting them in the ground, and then they'll work on framing them out after that. So our goal is to meet it by the end of the month. I still think it's feasible, given that you're just putting raw poles in the air and letting fiber come in and string them up. So we'll continue to coordinate with electric department and move as quickly, efficiently, and safely as we can on it.
Question on that. When I was mowing my mother-in-law's yard, I saw like a wood stake and it said fiber optics. Is that where they're gonna put a pole at?
It was Evie. So me and the electric guys, we walked that whole route, and you'll notice there's some on either side. One side was the original route. The other side is a revised route, which would accommodate the Safe Routes to School sidewalk. That way we can provide LED lighting or lighting over top of that sidewalk. So,
Chances are it may be a pole.
so exactly,
Okay.
roundabout within a certain footage of that.
I'm just asking, so I'm sure she's gonna be, well, they're digging over here. That's why. I explained to my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
There's a
How
possibility.
big a project we talking about?
I'm sorry.
How big a project is it? I mean, old.
When we walked it, no, 13 with
All of us dig holes.
yeah, you got to get the slapsticks. Start digging some holes after that. But, so that's what I got.
Big project.
Mm,
On locates, you know where they call them here?
last week.
It's gonna take 48 hours to locate done, and they're only good.
Yeah. So, like I said, I was out there. I think I drove by there earlier today, and I saw some markings on the ground. So they're pretty much there. Just a matter of putting the poles
Well, I
out.
don't know what this guy was doing,
Mhm.
but it was this long thing and like, poof, make a place.
Mhm.
You know? He wasn't like the I've seen the line locate guys, and he wasn't like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Maybe he was. but
and you may
he had
also.
a bunch of little flags in his back pocket. He
Um,
had this long metal thing.
Maybe he was looking for gold or something. But you may see the guys, they're not going to do it in sequence probably. They're not going to do 1, 2, 3. They'll probably do the easy ones first where there's nothing around them, plant those, and then they kind of go back. That might be one way they do it. Other way they do it is they might go in sequence to line them all up, make sure. Good deal. But that's all I got on the project update, unless there's any other questions or concerns.
All right. Any other questions? No action?
Yes, sir.
Item number 7, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to ordinance 2023-0522-077, adopted 2018 International Code Council, building codes, and local amendments.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, if you recall, we've had a workshop and a couple council meetings about this item. The proposal is to update the 2012 current codes to the 2018 versions. They're on a 3-year rotating basis. What our consulting firm, ATS, noted was that the difference between the 2018 codes and the 2021 codes was very significant. And there's a lot of updates that could disrupt any building processes. So they recommended the 2018 code, which will allow, give us some more time to work with those. as we wait for future code addition updates. So we will be going from the 2012 International Code Council, the 2015 Energy Conservation, and the 2011 National Electric Code to the 2018 International Codes, with adding the existing building code, the property maintenance code, and going to the 2020 National Electric Code. So again, those are all recommendations from ATS, who have about 2 to 3 years worth of data points now with the city. So they felt that those would most benefit our community at this time. And we can always revisit this item at a later date to add any local amendments as needed or as desired. So this can always be amended to a degree. Any questions?
And my recommendation would be to, if you so choose to adopt this, what's needed, would it be to start it on a specific date? That way we can, it's not tomorrow, people come in and they're like, all of a sudden, surprise. You know, it's,
I do a fiscal year like September 1st.
Could do, let me see here.
Well, I think anything that's pending in our coffers now, they wouldn't want to adopt a new code too at this point.
anything pending,
Yeah.
currently pending, already permitted.
Let me see here. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, so what would you want to write it for?
So you could do, so if you read the ordinance language, it says here, section 10, the very last page, effective date. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its date of passage and approval and publication as provided by law. So even if it's adopted today, it doesn't take effect until it's published in the local newspaper. That's one consideration. Or it could be an effective date of
Like
July 1st, or specific date and publication as provided by law. Is there a specific time frame that we'd be interested in allowing folks to adjust to, or is it, what's the thought on that?
Well, personally, I would think that if we pick a hard date, that he's going to be starting on a hard date. If we try to ease our way into it,
Mhm.
it's going to be hard to manage, I'm afraid. My thought, but
Well, it would be posted in the local paper, and we know the Tribune posts every Friday. So if it's adopted today, the earliest it could be passed and approved per the ordinance would be Friday the 26th. Or it could be posted in next Friday's paper, which would be Friday the
Yeah,
2nd.
we're kind of leaning towards this idea, this will be like September 1st.
I would think just make it.
well, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, no, I want to hear your idea first.
Do we need to have this in place so we can finish up our agreement out here we have to have it in place
For the
for the subdivision agreement?
Not for the subdivision agree. Well, that's like later down the road. In terms of the home builders would need the building code.
So what if for the development plan though, we have to have the adopted code?
Subdivision ordinance is what's needed first, which has development guidelines, which City of Belton is my homework right here.
Yeah.
Fix that. Yeah, so that's related to development, but any other, like once you actually start getting rooftops, then yes, it would need to be
So
first.
adopting it now and deciding to start it would be two different things.
Yes, sir.
We wouldn't necessarily have to force it if we adopted it now until later.
Right, and that can be put in section 10 as amended. So it could be adopt ordinance as amended, as the amended effective date, something to that effect, if so desired. Maybe it's concerns.
Everybody starts it.
And then what were you gonna say? You had something you were gonna say, what was it?
Yeah.
You had something you were gonna say, what was it?
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I figured kind of do folks get ready and adjust it, you know,
Just
this way they say, well, we didn't know about this, well, you have known since May until December, we have that information in front of you.
So then I would, let's see, extract this. And
So we can
the,
go ahead and adopt it effective September 1st,
it'd be October 1 would be the,
October 1st.
the fiscal year start. October 1.
You didn't want,
It's 6 months away, right?
5.
5 months.
5 months away.
we can still adopt it, effective that, and send it in.
Would this get the complication then?
It would.
It would. Um, if you pass it as amended, I send this into the codifiers, and if they have an issue with it, we just bring it back, and we can make any adjustments as needed. But again, we can change that effective date.
If we
Somebody-
decide to wait
somebody
till
do something.
October 1st,
Mhm.
will that give us time to do some workshops on amendments? and things?
Certainly would. It certainly would. Yes, sir. Mhm.
We're gonna have to,
I'd like to make a motion.
We either made a motion.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
Things that I see.
give me a read on that. Related to orders number 202305222-07, adopting 28 the International Code Council, ICC Building Code, and local amendments.
As amended,
As amended.
as amended
You second?
with an effective date
there's a
of
second.
I'll second. You wait on second, I'll second.
October
I'm
1st,
waiting, looking,
2024.
need his glasses, huh?
You can adjust it, however you need.
We need to get it adopted.
Who seconded? I'm sorry. Shelton?
Behind the screen.
All in favor? I'm sorry. All in favor? Carries 5-0. That'll be effective 10/1, right?
Yes, sir.
So, date's the 21. All right, number 8, discuss, review, take any necessary action related to summary 2023 pool hours and update. All right, so I've got some recommendations from people who use the pool, AKA my wife and her friends.
And-
And that doesn't mean that this is where you have to go with it. They were asking Monday, 12 to 6, closed Tuesday, closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 to 6, with optional day close of either Monday or Sunday for where pool could be rented. Not a huge fan of closing the pool on a Sunday just because
It was a weekend.
it's a weekend and then sometimes that's the only time parents can go. But I guess it could still be rented.
Could be rented.
And I don't know how many hours we've got budgeted for lifeguards and all that. I mean, I know we've only got 3 people.
Right, and actually, one was already certified. He got recertified, so he's good for another 2 years. The other one was passed his classes this past week, so he's certified now. And then the third one has to finish up school, so she has the time to actually go and attend the class. So we'll have 3 certified lifeguards. And when we onboarded them, I asked them to annotate what their vacation schedules were and all that good stuff so we can accommodate. But just keep in mind, we need to have 2 lifeguards on duty at all time. And so if 1 or 2 of them, really if 2 of them are out, then we can't open the pool. So last year's pool hours, which is what the current adoption was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. all days, with the options on Saturday and Sunday, where if it was slow and nobody was there at 6 p.m. on Saturday or Sunday, the lifeguards had the ability to close the pool then and there to give them a little bit more evening time on their summer vacation. But if people were there, then 8 p.m. was the hard cutoff date. So people had to be out of the pool by 8 p.m. So that's, again, currently what was adopted for this upcoming pool season. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. all days, with Saturday and Sunday being an 8 p.m. hard closing, 6 p.m. soft closing. That,
So,
yes, sir.
go ahead.
I would say that Monday could be an optional pool rental period, but that would be subject to lifeguards willingly doing that on their own time. And getting paid for it. Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm not opposed to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got a key, I'm gonna swim the winter. That's right, I got a pothole, swim in those.
You're gonna rile them up? You're gonna rile 'em up.
Get them started. So, y'all, council, y'all decide. I mean, we have three lifeguards. Well, we've got 2 certified, one about to get her certification. There'll be 3 lifeguards, same as last year. We had 3 last year, right?
We had 4 last year.
Dave
But,
was only here half the time.
right, but we didn't have any pool manager last year. So in order to provide an incentive for pool manager, that's why we amended the number of spots. Yes, sir. So he is designated as pool manager. Now, in the event that somebody is out for vacation or whatever reason, he is certified, so he does have the ability to serve as a lifeguard. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, but his main responsibility will be pool manager, coordinating schedules, making sure people are using the pool properly, so forth. So.
I'm fine with those hours we had last year.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've already had 3 people ask me if they can rent the pool.
So the pool rental guidelines were, it was available from on Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for a rental period. Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. both days. Those were pool rental availability. Now, what that means is that's exclusive pool usage. You know, if somebody's renting the pool, nobody else can be in there, but that designated party.
So that was Thursday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 or 6 to 8?
Yes, sir. And then Saturday, Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
We have a limit on how many people might have on their swimming.
Well, we do have limitations on the pool signage.
I have to double check that.
Yeah.
But you're right, there are limitations.
I think was it Williams County Fire Marshal came and put a
It's
occupancy load on it.
yes, we're going to look at getting a few of those new signs out there. Probably if we can get metal signs, that way they last a little bit longer than the plastic ones that run pretty well.
I believe Teresa has the signage on the MDD's agenda.
Yes, that's right.
Signage reimbursement and lifeguard reimbursement and something else.
Hours, just full regular hours, 12 to 6.
She's supposed
I'll take a
to.
picture of it.
She was supposed
And I'll
to.
post this. I'll post all this. We'll blast it out. We'll get everything going.
6 hours,
So
an hour to rent, $300. How does the lifeguard thing, $25 an hour or 25?
25 per lifeguard per hour. So for 2 lifeguards for an hour, it's $50 an hour. And so if you want it for 2 hours, it'd be $100. So $50 for 1 hour rental, and then $100 for 2 hours.
I'm like, you could have applied.
2 lifeguards, 6 hours, 300, that's what? $300?
Well, that's if they do it on a rental.
I said, you can show up. Show up to the meeting.
I don't think about being
Tell us who y'all want.
I mean,
It's not that hard.
It's a good little side hustle for them.
You'd be surprised.
Plus
I'd say you probably rented it out about 6 or 8 times this summer.
For how many days?
You read it out.
1 day.
As long as
You
there's 2
can only do it
lifeguards, they
in 2
can have
hours.
as many as the occupancy load.
6 hours. I'm gonna rent them.
Yeah, but based off the pool rental.
Depends on who rents it. Sometimes it's like birthday
These are
parties.
the only.
They do that 15,
Like
20
Little
minutes.
League
What I'm
has
saying is-
one.
But sometimes it's like the Little League, or I know the church was talking about doing it for like DBS or something like that.
City council member moving.
Yeah, you know, the church does that, there'd be 150 people there.
Oh, well, it's, well, if you remember, it's free for all Barnet members. Every single person. The only folks that I would have to pay would be non-residents. So like,
Well, no, I'm just saying, I rent that full anybody. Here in town.
Oh,
That'd be like $300 to $500.
Call it
Like
the Jesse
this
Willie
birthday
Bash.
song.
The barbecue deciphering over here, Jesse's counting whiskers. What'd y'all figure out?
No, I was thinking about,
Jesse's the 4th lifeguard?
you don't want Shamu out there. I mean, not Shamu, Mexico.
decide on the hour?
The previous council action already approved the hours we just discussed.
It's, I think, 12 to 6, Thursday through Sunday, right?
Yes, sir.
With options for rentals on those nights and mornings.
Yes, sir.
12 to 6, except Saturday and Sunday was 12 to 8, except the lifeguard, if no one was there, they could make a call and close at 6.
Correct.
I think that is correct.
If you don't want to change what we discussed. If there's
So
no
Saturday,
changes-
Sunday's 12 to 8, unless it's rented from 6 to 8,
Mhm.
or if there's nobody there at 6 o'clock, they can close at 6. Right. Yeah. That's what it was.
That's why we have a pool manager, so they can manage all
Because
that.
he just said it, he just said.
Look, it always starts off hot, okay? It always starts off hot. There'll be 25, 30 kids there at first, but once you get into like mid-July, it's like the lifeguards are just sitting there staring at the water, you know? I mean, nobody there, so we'll just contact everybody.
Okay, you figured that out?
No.
And I'll post those. They're,
Did we already decide this, Joseph, that last time?
yes,
So we
ma'am.
don't need any action right now.
No action if there are no changes.
No action. And my wife to y'all, not me. Moving on, item number 9. We're done with the regular agenda?
Yes, sir.
That's quick. Item number 9, executive session in accordance with Texas Government Code, section 551.001. The city council will recess into executive session. to Discuss the following. Item number 9, 551.074. Deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, compensation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and/or dismissal of a public employee or officer regarding chief of police. Is chief here? Chief? 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 Make sure, because he's got the right to either do this in executive session or in open session, so I just want to ask him. I'd say. It's supposed to be.
Council, you still have the right to go into executive executive session to discuss any of those items.
Okay, he's not here. So we can still go into executive session and discuss what we're going to previously discuss. It just won't be with him.
And it can't be an open session without his express
Exactly.
approval or permission.
So it's, y'all still want to go into executive session? So
Is
it's,
there any reason to?
It might be good to just get a sense of the context of everything. But I'll remain out here unless you guys need me to go in there. That was communicated, so.
so at 7:55 p.m., we'll reside in the executive session in accordance with Texas Government Code, section 551.001.
Ready.
All right. Say yes.
Yes.
We'll reconvene into open session at 8:25 PM. Item A, take action, if any, on matters discussed in executive session. That's item number 9, 551.074, deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, compensation, reassignment, duties, discipline, and/or dismissal of a public employee or officer regarding chief of police. Do we have any motions on the table? See no motions. So there will be no action on this item at this time. Future agenda items? Doesn't? I mean, just the usual updates on the fibers and blah, blah, blah. I think that deadline's coming up before the next meeting anyway, so we'll see what happens. Need that last motion, Ms.
I'll
Cook?
make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that one.
Vicky made a motion to adjourn, Jesse seconded, after Gail seconded it. Or Sheldon. We'll call the meeting at 8:26 PM. Thank you, folks.
There you go.
You had just a little bit of daylight.
Go enjoy some cake.
Joseph, that means you can go home and just stay.
What? Yes, sir, I do. Thank you. I got to add it to your file. And I'll send you, do you prefer text or an email for that open record, open
Just send me
meetings
a
act?
text, be fine.
Okay, I'll send it. It's real easy, like I said. I mean,
No problem.
background music.
Send him the link to do his open records. Yeah, that's one.
Where you been, man?
Sorry, dude. My bad, bro.
Let
Trying
me
to watch my
narrow
figure.
it first. That way.
Get that for me, sis.
What am I doing?
Misunderstood my neighbor. I've got sprinklers. He said, family meeting, I'll call this week.
What is this?
He said,
Which one's that one?
block it off.
Oh, that's that MOU thing.
Why don't they put the sprinkler system in?
Oh, is this what you want me to sign tonight?
That's nice of you to say that.
And I called him to do right. Hey, really,
A PD or file?
he said, that's not good.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Appreciate
Well,
you.
then,
Good job, Sheldon.
Mr. Gale, is it the 817 number or is it the 254 number?
817. 526. You did that wrong there.
I had another one in there. It must be your burner phone. I don't know. 254. Don't let me get you in trouble. 254 273 7020.
I mean, I can't sign this until,
Yeah, that's the right number, 817 526.
I guess put this on the next agenda.
Really got a long time since I was up there in Arlington.
Oh, I got you.
You show Cleveland or something when he comes in, probably.
We're gonna have to like review this and put it on the next agenda.
I agree. Please put the following.
Supposedly he's on a call in town with a man trying to kill himself or something,
So
supposedly.
if I get in a bind, I know we got money in the cemetery committee. If I get in a bind, just come be one of y'all and see if we can get a little bit of help. I don't want to get Astor up right now because I got donations coming.
Do I need to get my chainsaw out there?
No chainsaws.
I got a really cool battery powered
Sandpaper,
one.
sandpaper,
Couple
and
double
steel
A's.
brush and all that. I'll put it to it. Just keep that in mind because I'm hoping we don't have no donations. So we leave this.
There's money in a cemetery
I know
checking
there's money
account.
in it. I know there is. I just, hey, just don't say anything you can't.
Your nameplate,
But she
it
always-
was supposed to come
See,
in,
you got
but
plenty of
they said they
money
didn't have this
now.
particular color with white on the back.
Don't get her
So they said they'll have it
Better stay on my side.
either end of this week or early next week. So we'll make you legit, and that's actually your name tag that's on, so you can,
Let me take that with me or just leave it there?
you can take it with you, or you can,
Harvey, you give me
Leave it there.
We'll leave it there for now.
just in case.
Was he left?
I-
Oh,